Alright, let's go again. Oops. Yeah, the first one is the most important, because that one determines how much leeway you have in the corner. I didn't notice the sound cue, I'll have to look at that. If I reset, I'll try that. I'm probably going to do this with Copen too, but I have to do more grinding with him, and I'm far more likely to do that like when I'm watching another stream or when I'm waiting for the bus or something. That's what's nice about the Switch. Pretty much all the grinding I did for this file I did like while I was watching a stream or while I was out. Alright, so it's gonna show a massive time loss. It's like not actually true. What it is just I forgot to split. What's flimsy about them? I haven't had any problems. But I always keep mine either docked or on the case. Or in a case, so it's pretty much always secured. I have a screen protector on it too. So between the screen protector and the case, it doesn't really get exposed to much of anything. Even if the Joy-Con's fucked up. I'm actually using a PS4 controller right now. I have an adapter. I didn't feel like paying for a $70 Pro controller with a shit D-pad. So... Can't believe how much they're charging for that. I hear the D-pad on those things is like abysmal. It's like not even an actual D-pad, it's a shell. It's a shell on top of 4 buttons, which is why people are getting like wrong inputs in like really precision heavy games like Puyo Puyo Tetris. I don't know why they cheaped out like that. They need to make it with like a real D-pad. Hori is coming out on a left Joy-Con with a real D-pad. Well, the worst thing about it is if anything goes wrong with your Switch, you can't back up the saves. Because they're so paranoid that people are going to hack it that you can't, like, put your saves on a USB drive or anything. That's why I've been reluctant to play, like... I can't imagine them releasing something like Pokemon and then still have the save system be the way it is right now. Your Switch gets lost or stolen, you have like 300 hours in that game, and you can't get your save back. They're really lucky they don't have any like really long-winded games like that on the console right now. It's not something people are thinking about, but it's a really major issue. Now, I'm assuming that their equivalent of Xbox Live and PS Plus is going to have that, but it should just be a base feature. Like, the Vita, in terms of like the non-gaming features and the quality of life stuff, is a much better platform. Like, going from the Vita to this is like, it's like kind of weird. It's like an upgrade and a downgrade at the same time. Like, I have like all my saves backed up on my Vita. If it ever got lost, stolen, or broken, all I would have to do is just buy another one and just log onto my PlayStation account and get it back. No issue at all, but in this, it's like this big ordeal. That was a good fight. Better than usual. Yeah, the system is pretty bare bones. There's not even a web browser. The only way you can access the web browser is if you're like near like a public wireless hotspot, like if you're at like Starbucks or something. Like it'll open up a browser so that you can get your credentials and access the internet, but you can't even use a browser. You can't play music, you can't back up your saves. Like, that's why I still have my Vita. Like, if I want to just like play music, I want to play music, or you know, for some reason my phone doesn't work, then I have my Vita as a backup, which is a shame because the Switch has a much better screen. It's a bigger screen too. And they're so paranoid that people are going to hack it. I don't even think 3DS piracy was that big of a deal. It was mostly the DS is where the piracy was really bad. I think of the 3DS was mostly just like really tech-savvy people. I don't know, I didn't have a 3DS, I don't know much about that scene. It will get hacked, of course. Apparently there's already some kind of exploit that like firmware updates couldn't fix. But the system shouldn't have like all these stupid bullshit limitations just because they're scared somebody's going to hack it. Vita's been cracked wide open. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Obviously, it's doing a lot worse than this is, but... I like the games on it, I like how flexible it is, I like how I can just play with a PS4 controller. I only had to pay 25 bucks. Same thing when the fighting games come out too, I can just plug in my stick. I don't have to buy some bullshit $200 stick with the Nintendo logo on it. Yeah, I have a Vita to SD. I need to get it need to get a new card for it. That's why I don't really care about hacking my Switch. I do it like if they had like really crazy emulators like a PS2 emulator or something, I would definitely do that, but I wouldn't do it to this one. I'd probably just buy another one for that. The Vita is still a better console to hack anyway because it has a good D-pad just straight on it, and the Switch doesn't. The Switch has a pretty pathetic excuse for a D-pad. I hate this part. I have the early revision. I might actually wait until I have the funds to get another one. I know they've improved the formula since then. I just got it now because I had the money and there's actually shit I wanted to play on it. And I don't know when Bayonetta 3 is coming out. I didn't want to be caught off guard and not have the console when that comes out. Ah, fuck. I still got him somehow. Got lucky. Charge shot to the face. Yeah, the games are great, it's just everything else about the console sucks. They keep saying that their paid online is going to be like worth the wait, quote unquote. So, I mean, I wouldn't mind paying 20 bucks for it if they actually made it worthwhile. I couldn't get into Wonderful 101. I tried with that game. I just didn't like it. I only played it for like an hour, but I really didn't like that game. I couldn't get into it. One of the few Platinum games I haven't like played extensively. I just didn't like it at all. I hated all the forced touchscreen shit. Like, that's what I really didn't like about the game. I also couldn't tell where my character was because everything was just like a little tiny pixel. I know it's a great game, I just couldn't do it. And if they did port it, I'd probably try it. I never had a Wii U, so I could only play it at the gaming cafe. Fuck. There we go. That's a time loss. I was waiting for the other one to spawn. Yeah, as soon as I heard playing that game at a high level, like, required drawing the stuff at like a super fast speed, is just like, you know what, I don't think this is the game for me. I can't do that stuff.
ですけど。
Also, I'm surprised I can read the chat while I'm playing this. The only downtime is the loading. I wish they had made the loading a little better. This is still the definitive way to play the game, though, because this is the only version that runs at 60 FPS. The others all run at 30, which makes the game feel a lot worse. Okay, definitely vouch for that. I have the first one on PC, and I could barely get through it because of the frame rate. Yeah, I think what happened is the way that the flash field mechanic works, like if they had just doubled the frame rate, it would have doubled the damage that Gunvolt did. Which, in my opinion, would make the pacing and the combat way more fun, but I guess they didn't want it like that for balance reasons, so they just locked it at 30. Which, for a game like this, is borderline. It's far from unplayable, but I just couldn't get into it. The game feels so much better at 60. I imagine it took quite a bit of work on their part to get it running at 60 without just making all the flash field stuff do like double damage. Since the Japanese always tie logic to frame rate, and that fucks up any kind of mechanic like that that's like based on time. Remember Dragon Ball Xenoverse had that that Z-Soul that like increased your healing? But people who were running at like 300 frames per second had like 5 times more healing than anybody else. Broke that game. Oh god, that would make the combat even more boring. Are you crazy? Combat in this game already sucks. I'm glad they didn't do that. That'd be even more just holding the button down instead of like doing anything cool. Yeah, I don't think anyone was expecting them to make the Switch version run at 60 FPS. I think people were just expecting it to be a good, like a lazy port, but this is actually one of the better ports. Alright, halfway done. If the final boss was its own level, I would probably do the last level first. But unfortunately, if you do the last level, it just ends the game. You can't, like, do it as a separate level. So there's no way. That bullshit attack is always going to be at the end, no matter what you do. Fuck. Yeah, still got him. He almost got off screen. Ashibotto. What's interesting is when you unlock this this clip that I'm using, you can actually use it on a new game file, even if your file is like completely deleted. You can use it at any time. So another category I might do is new game, like without the crazy health bar and stuff, and then just save up to get the clip. But it costs 30,000, so I don't know how it would route in just being able to get that. I'll have to look at the challenges again and see which one I could do. That's if I care enough. I don't know if I care enough. I'm not really a hardcore speedrunner, but you can speedrun without just using an existing file. They need to get Inti Creates to make another Mega Man Zero game with like a level editor. I would play the shit out of that. That's the best Mega Man engine by far. Like, no questions asked. The Mega Man Zero engine is the best engine out of all of them. And this game is pretty much the same thing. It's just the other mechanics are not that great. But since most people have not played the Zero games, a lot of people say the X engine is the best. The X engine is a pretty close second, but in terms of like the sense of speed and stuff, like Zero is definitely the best. There is that Mega Man Maker, but it only supports just classic Mega Man, which is boring to me. They said that they want to add like other Mega Man series, like the Mega Man 7 and 8 sprites and stuff. I hope that means that they'll do like X and Zero. I would play the shit out of Mega Man Maker if I could make like levels with the Zero engine. Classic Mega Man? Not so much. I'm tired of classic Mega Man. Not as much death with the movement. Ah! Playing like shit. Imagine if the game just was designed to play like this and he just had like a charge kick or something that like actually lets you keep your momentum. This game would be so much better, but like to play this game the way I want to, I have to have all this broken shit on. That's kind of what I dislike about it, but at the same time the game does have the option for me to just play like this. It's just I had to do a fuck ton of grinding. But I'm enjoying this. This is a pretty chill speedrun. It's just that one part at the end that's really stressful. If they had just copied the way that Mega Man Zero worked and they gave him like the flash field and like a rider kick or something, that would be fucking awesome. Now, a lot of people have been complaining, saying that he needs a more varied moveset, so I imagine that's something that they'll work on in the next one. I think they have the movement down. The movement is perfect. The movement is what makes this game so satisfying to play. It's just the combat falls flat. Oh god, the Mega Man, the new Mega Man cartoon. Like, I wanted to forget about that. I wonder what happened to the Mighty Number 9 cartoon. They were gonna like try to make that into like this huge kids media franchise. But then the game just bombed so terribly, I think they just quietly canceled all their plans to do that. They were planning on like a cartoon. I think there was supposed to be like a comic or something. I forgot about Red Ash too. Oh man. It got funded by some random shady Chinese company that no one had ever heard of. Like, hey, no one showed interest in this, but this random Chinese company did, so now we're going to make it. And then no one will buy it. Sounds like a plan. Alright, a moment of truth. Let's see if I can get it. I think I fucked up like 4 times, so I can probably still PB off this. We'll see what happens. Dude, Mighty Number 9 like ruined crowdfunding for everybody else. I've seen so many like legit like crowdfunding campaigns on Kickstarter with like full demos and everything that don't get funded because people are so turned off after Mighty Number 9 poisoned the well for everyone else who's actually not trying to fuck people over. Kind of depressing how many of them fail. Like, even if the marketing's good and they have like an actual demo, it's not just like a concept art screenshot. Ah, fuck. That was way off. I'm not concentrating. That's alright, I'll have a fat gold split next time. Even if I hadn't gotten hit by that, there wasn't enough room for me to dodge the 4th one. Hey, there we go. Second try. Not bad. Still have a lot of time to save next time. Now I basically can't fuck up. The only thing I can do is I can fuck up Copen, since you have to take off his pervasion. Definitely better than last time. It took like 4 tries. Actually, no, you can fuck up this boss, but this is... I don't understand the pattern of this boss. Oh, whoa, one shot. Weird. Guess I didn't notice that last time. I don't know, to be fair, Swery's game is like really niche and it's not going to appeal to that many people. I mean, I'm a cat person, so, you know, being able to like go around and do crazy cat shit actually sounds kind of cool, but it's not really the kind of project that I dump like money on. You know, if like other people funded it and it was on sale, you know, maybe I'd try it, but I think it's just kind of, it's just too niche. Plus, the Kickstarter failed before, too, so people are always kind of apprehensive when something fails once. But in general, Mighty No. 9, I think, ruined it for a lot of people, and then the ukulele game, I know that game was disappointing to a lot of people, too, so that kind of pushed people even further against it. There's also been a lot of vaporware Kickstarters too that actually get funded, but then the people have no idea how to like actually make a video game. So that's been a problem as well. I can't really put all the blame on Mighty No. 9. I think that's definitely one of the biggest factors, but there's been a lot of other ones that have been funded that like are still not out. There was that one funded by like that some famous like JRPG guy that just got canceled. They raised like a couple $100,000. There's been a lot that's happened. I think Mighty No. 9 was just like the catalyst, but there's been a lot of other shady campaigns since then too. You know, it's like you can have a demo and everything, but if no one knows how to like actually make a game in a timely manner and on budget, then it doesn't matter. I mean, I could go raise like a couple $100,000 for like a beat 'em up or something, but I don't know how to make a game. Yeah, exactly. Like, they don't know how to make a game. Or they can't, like, manage the workload and the stress, which is another important part, too. Obviously, you don't want to kill yourself making a game, but you need to deliver something. Especially if people are paying you that much. Yo! 35.58. It's probably like a 35.57. I didn't split right away. So I can still save like probably about a minute. Maybe like a minute and a half. If I have a little better execution. I'd say that's pretty good for today. Especially since it's going to tire out my hand. Yeah, the only thing I need to do is get the 7 slashes attack. I need to get it on the first try, but I'm not going to do that tonight. Well, that was fun.